What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chaotic Minds. As always, it is Winged.
And the midget.
And we, if you hadn't noticed, took last week off.
We took the last 2 weeks off.
Was it 2 weeks? I don't think it was 2 weeks.
Yep, because last week we weren't going to do it Saturday because you were doing something with a friend. And then we were going to do it Saturday evening after we woke up. And then we got caught up with other stuff and didn't do it. But the week before, I was not feeling well.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Our
I
apologies.
said, 2 weeks.
We've like, it's only been here recently. Like, beginning of the year, we were doing good. We were but it's just like, stuff has been popping up here
May,
recently.
June, July is just fucked up.
Yep.
Beyond all recognition. Like,
Boobar.
Major.
Yep.
But I have a surprise in store for us today.
Well, I have something that I want to get off my chest before we start. You need to stay off of Temu.
I don't want to stay off of Temu.
You need to stay off of Temu.
I get cheap shit. And I'm at home.
You need stuff.
I'm at home and I'm crafty and I'm making stuff. And you can't say
Okay, the last big order that you got from Temu, you bought an ice maker.
I was
while you
high.
were not in the right frame of mind, and then realized that you bought said ice maker
when it showed up at the house.
Yeah.
Hey, that thing has come in handy.
You need to stay off of Temu.
Temu's great.
Sure.
Anyway, I have a surprise in store for us today.
Okay.
Hopefully it's going to be a little bit longer of an episode. Kind of try to make up for us, like, spacing y'all out last week. Again, we apologize. But I've got I'm aiming this more towards, like, news day.
Okay.
Like, stories that have been in the news lately, and things may not be in this country, may be in other countries that's going on. Because the world is a dumpster fire right now.
Yeah.
So, and it's an election year, so we're kind of like, let's stay away from the politics.
I mean, eventually we are going to have to...
Although there is some really good fucking memes out lately.
We are going to, at some point, have to talk about politics.
November. We will talk about politics in November.
Okay.
Because November is election.
Okay.
We can talk about it then, and then we don't have to worry about it. Or we could make the politics the Halloween story, scary stuff.
No.
Actually, no, I've got a paranormal episode planned for that. So.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some pretty good ones I was reading.
I like spooky season.
Yes. I love spooky season. You don't watch spooky movies with me, though.
I don't watch spooky movies, but I like spooky season.
Okay. So, as I was saying, one of the biggest things going on right now, other than the fiasco with Russia, Ukraine, and then in the religious area in Israel, all that.
No, it's not really religious. It's more that conflict is...
It has been going on for eras.
Yeah, but it still doesn't make it any less newsworthy.
Yes, but that's something that everybody pretty much talks about.
Yeah.
So this story says, Germany mass stabbing. Police hunt suspect after 3 killed at festival in Solingen. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but
I heard about this story.
I
didn't look into it, but I heard about it.
So they're searching for a guy behind a mass stabbing. It was at a festival, okay? It is celebrating stuff, and I'll go into that. But it took place as thousands of people gathered at the central square in the city of Solingen in the country's west during celebrations to mark its 650th anniversary, billed as a festival of diversity. This is like if we have the Taste of Colorado here, and it has cultures from all over that bring food trucks, all that stuff in.
I've never been.
I have, and it's great. That's the first time I ever tried gator.
Okay.
But it's kind of like that, but it's a huge ordeal over there.
It's celebrating everybody.
Exactly. It's celebrating everything, everybody. It's celebrating the German cultural diversity. Like, their country is like a really big melting pot, kind of like ours is. And it's kind of funny that I was looking at this and kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit. But did you know that German is the number one language spoke here in Colorado behind Spanish?
No.
Spanish and English are tied, and then German is right underneath it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been Mandarin.
I would have figured it would have been some Eastern language, Indonesian, Chinese, Japanese, something like that.
Yeah.
You would think that you find more German speaker, more native, or not really native, but like more German speakers, like East Coast, like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Whatever. I don't know about Jersey, but definitely Pennsylvania. Probably like Virginia, West Virginia area.
So yeah, it's like...
Because my great-grandmother and my grandmother are both Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yeah.
So I have that in me. So, we use a lot of yuns. Like when we're talking it, yuns is like the Pennsylvania version of y'all. We still use y'all, but yuns is like youngins.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is like, and then it goes into this whole thing that there's been a lot of stabbings, and one of the more recent ones, other than this, a police officer had intervened and was fatally stabbed.
Oh.
And they believe that it may be the same guy because the description is eerily similar. And so 3 people died, 9 others were injured, 5 of them are still in critical condition.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, it's like, dude.
Well, a lot of that also has to do with gun laws in Europe. I mean, Britain is famous for, the only groups of people who have firearms of any kind are police and the military.
Yep.
I mean, having a gun in Britain, like privately owned gun in Britain, is very, very, very few and far between.
Yep.
Like, you have to get special permission
from
the crown in order to go ahead and have that.
Yep. And that's the thing is, like, we won't go into gun laws here, but we need to have better control over who gets firearms.
I will say, I believe everyone should have the right to own a firearm. However, some people should not have the ability to own firearms. Because
there should be...
It should all depend on mental health. And that brings in... Talking about gun laws and stuff like that brings you into the rabbit hole of mental health stuff. And there's not a lot of people who want to talk about mental health, and there's even fewer. There's a lot of people who don't see mental health as an actual problem.
Yep.
It's is it you have what's wrong with you? Oh, it's a mental health problem. Oh, it's all in your head. And like, I'm diagnosed bipolar. Like, I'm manic depressive bipolar, and I was diagnosed with ADD and then ADHD when I was a kid.
Yep.
So, like, for me, having this and people telling me, oh, it's all in your head, or it's not real, or you just focus. Talk about my ADD, or we got to walk on eggshells around you all the time, which was a fun conversation.
Yeah. I didn't put up with that.
Like, it's rough.
It is.
Overseas in Europe and stuff like that, their gun laws are extremely strict.
Oh yeah.
Like, lockdown. You can get this if you jump through about 80,000 hoops, and a few of them on fire.
Yep. And that's the thing is, like, this, it's just, it's crazy. And I mean
that's why you're seeing people like, attacking people with knives. I mean, there was this couple stories a couple years ago where people were throwing acid, like battery acid,
in
on
people's
people.
faces. Or another one that's kind of knife related, the people that were walking around with hatchets and machetes.
Yeah. And I apologize that I interrupted
Oh,
you a few
you're
times.
you're good, and that's the thing.
How's
is
it
like
feel?
this
How's
is
it feel?
this is part of that back and forth conversation that I like with this show. Is like whereas we kind of get upset when we're talking normally, both of us do when we're getting interrupted. Here, it's like we have that open dialogue, and we can go back and forth because we know this is for a reason.
How's it feel?
So, I mean, I don't know. Violence just begets more violence.
Yeah.
It's like that saying that you tell me, an eye for an eye, and the whole world goes blind.
And when the whole world goes blind, the man with one eye is king.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, it's 2024. Like, why?
Now here's the thing. Here's where I am a little bit hypocritical, right?
Yeah.
I do say eye for an eye and the whole world goes blind. I am a pacifist now,
Yeah.
right? However, in my younger years, I was not. I was a very hot-tempered youth. You know, I used to get into fights a lot with people and about stupid stuff. Like, you look at me wrong, and I'm like, you eyeball me? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Yep, it's that hot-headed kid thing.
See, well, that and the Irish.
Yeah.
But no, like, I try my best to keep my temper and keep that urge to use violence quelled.
You keep it in pretty good check.
You know, but there are times where I will fully admit I am the vengeful sort. And,
Yeah.
like, you hurt the people I care about. You hurt my circle. You hurt my friends. You hurt my family. You hurt my loved ones. And they won't find you if I get my hands on you. And I don't know. And on one hand, I feel for the people, and I hope that this person who committed these acts gets the justice that they deserve, right?
Oh yeah, Germany don't play. They'll
But
straight put you to death for slapping somebody.
on the other hand, I know.
Wonder if he'll
that
get the gas
if-
chamber.
Really?
Sorry, I had to. It's Germany.
But on the other hand, I know that if one of y'all that was to happen here, and one of you guys, meaning you and the kids, got hurt, or worse,
They ain't no stopping me.
worse, I also know for a fact that I would be if that person had been caught, I would be actively hunting this person down. And the only way that I'd be stopped is if somebody they caught the person, or I got them, or somebody physically put me in a room and did not let me leave.
No.
So the anger that the victims' families are feeling, I completely understand.
Yeah.
You know. But I also know that, like, sometimes people have issues going on that cause them to do stupid shit.
Yeah.
And we're not privy to, and I don't want to be privy to anybody's innermost thoughts, because I already got enough problems going on in my head. I don't need anybody else's problems.
Yeah. I already have migraines. I don't need more.
Yeah.
But kind of an adjacent story to this, kind of like with the assault and stuff like that. Some news just came out. CBI, which is Colorado Bureau of Investigation,
Okay.
the Littleton Police, and other agencies are investigating reports, as in dozens of reports of assault and sexual assault by players of a football team at Littleton High School.
Seriously?
Yep. The players and the coach.
Seriously?
That they're involved. The coach knows about the problems the football players are causing, and that there has been reports of assault and sexual assault by several students, and reports of assault being told to staff members, and they're finally investigating it.
The school year just started.
Oh, no. This has been ongoing for 3 years.
Are you kidding?
No.
And they are just now?
It's been escalated because Littleton police have been investigating it and haven't, either people won't talk or don't talk because they're afraid. And now finally some people are starting to come forward, and I am so glad none of our kids are at that school anymore, because I tell you what, that would not be a good day for that student.
No.
Because
that and the family.
I would go to jail.
Why? My question. And it seems like a very simple question. Why were they not looking into this when it first got reported? Why was the school hiding it?
That's the thing. It's been since this new principal took over.
Why has the school been hiding it?
Yep.
One would think somewhere out there, something happens. It starts the whole investigation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets announced to people so that way they are on alert for to make sure that everybody's okay.
Yep.
Right? And it's not it's just 3 years later?
Yep.
Are we for serious?
Yep. I just read that on the Littleton Herald homepage.
What in the actual fuck is
Yep.
wrong with these people?
Because I'm telling you, if one of our kids, especially our daughter, who is the only one still in high school, was still at school there, and something happened to her,
I would
somebody be dead.
If the second I heard any sort of rumor about it from her, if she was still going there, nope, you're getting pulled, and I'm reporting this to anybody and everybody who will listen to my fat ass yell. I will get a bullhorn,
Yep.
stand across the street, just that way I'm not on
Now
property.
news stations are getting involved too.
Just that way I'm not on property, and I would be using said bullhorn to call out everybody every staff member there.
Yep.
I would get I don't know I would get on the website and make a list of every staff member, administration wise and teachers. And I'd be standing across the street with a bullhorn again, so I'm not on property, shouting through the bullhorn, being like, this person, why have you not done anything? This person, why have you not done anything?
But
and I would do it until I got arrested. And then the second I got out, guess where I would be?
right back there.
Across the street. And if they're like, well, you have to be 500 yards away. Cool. I will stand at 501 with a bullhorn.
Yep. And the thing is we know one of the teachers that finally came forward. It's one of the only teachers we can actually stand there.
I'm not going to mention names.
Nope.
However, good. I am glad to know that that instructor, that teacher, has a sense of morals, that they're actually doing something right.
Because one of the special needs students in our class was physically assaulted.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
You're beating up handicapped kids now. That's fucking great. I'm glad. This is where I'm glad none of our kids were really big into sports, because I swear to everything that's holy, if they were on the football team and they didn't report it themselves, I'd be fucking them up. My kids are not. they involved in it, I'm fucking them up even more.
Well, I would. Okay, here's the thing. I wouldn't abuse a child.
Oh no, I'd straight beat his ass and then go take him to the cops.
I would, however, put my handcuffs on him and bring him down to the police station. Be like, I have made a citizen's arrest.
Yep. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
My kids are doing wrong. I will be the first person to be like,
toss them under the fucking bus.
Yep. I
Like,
ain't.
Here's the thing. Is it going to hurt me? Yes. Is it going to hurt you? Yeah. However,
Sucks to suck. You'll learn somehow.
rules are there and they are to be followed by everyone. Nobody is above the law.
To protect everyone, too.
Nobody is above the law.
Yep.
My kids included, my family included. If I ever got any sort of hint that one of my family members went ahead and did something they weren't supposed to, guess what? I'm sorry. I love y'all to death. Your ass is getting, somebody is getting notified about something. Because nobody is above the law. If I fucked up, I would expect everybody else to do the same thing. Like, that's how it should be. Laws are there. Laws are put in place for a reason. They're not there just as, oh, maybe, or, oh, they only apply to this person or this group of people or that group of people or that person or whatever. No. Everyone should be held to the same standard. I don't care if you are, Joe Schmo from down the street. I don't care if you're some homeless dude walking down the road.
Or rich bitch on Wall Street.
I don't care if you are making multi-millions of dollars in the stock market. I don't care if you're a politician. I don't care if you're a business person. I don't care if you're an athlete. If you fuck up, you should be held to the same standard as everybody else, regardless. We shouldn't cut deals with people just because they're rich and famous or they have money or do you know who my daddy is? No.
Do I care who your daddy is?
That was gonna be
also no.
Do I care who your daddy is? No, I don't care who your daddy is. I don't care what position they hold. I don't care how much money you got in your bank account. I don't care that you can make my salary in a year in 20 minutes. I do not give a flying fuck stick.
Yep.
If you mess up, you should be held to the same standard.
Yep.
Because God knows if I mess up, then I'm going to be held to a standard, and I ain't going to be able to wiggle my way or pay off people to get out of jail free card.
Yep. But we are going to move on because we're getting a little too heated about that one.
Yeah.
Well, so do you remember the retail thefts we've been hearing about, like people stealing clothes, shoes, electronics, and stuff here?
Nope.
So they finally made an arrest after months of searching for these people. They arrested 4 people in Aurora for the retail theft ring.
Okay.
And it's like, really, they busted him making another theft, and they were doing it with knives.
Probably because I can't buy guns.
Probably.
Steal a gun. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't be dumb.
And that's the thing. Is like they stole a Ford F-150. They kept the plate on it, and they parked it behind a business where there was no camera, and a cop happened to by and saw that it was the stolen F-150 reported in this knife theft ring thing.
The smartest thing that they probably did is park behind the business where there's no cameras. That's probably the only smart thing that they did. I do not suffer thieves. However, there are some thieves that you got to respect the hustle.
You might want to rethink that.
Okay. Because
said retail establishment, said business, is across the parking lot and chain link fence from the Aurora Police Department.
They're ballsy.
Like,
Okay, the intelligence goes out the window. The confidence that they ain't gonna get caught is ballsy.
like, and these people aren't young. They're your age and my age. Like, the youngest one, it's a 36-year-old, a 26-year-old, a 33-year-old, and a 40-year-old. One female, 3 males. Like,
They have cojones. I will say that much.
and see, the thing is, it's like each count over $100 is 90 to 180 days in jail.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for almost a year.
So if a person has stolen over, and we checked this the other day at work, because somebody came in with a lot of money, and they were not somebody who carries a lot of money.
They should not be a person that carries a lot of money.
They had about $1,400 in cash on them.
Do not believe in banks.
A felony larceny in the state of Colorado.
Grand larceny.
Is $2,500.
Yep.
If they've been doing this, and they've been getting how much a day?
So that's the thing, is like, they didn't say how many counts there were, but this has been going on for about 9-10 months, and some days they hit 1 establishment, other days they hit 5.
So roughly, we'll put the cap a day, probably about,
let's do 5.
$250 to $300. Just that way there's an even, we'll say $300 between 4 people. You know what? No, we're going to say like $2,800 between 4 people. That's $70, right?
Yeah.
If I'm doing math right. If they're doing that a day, like $280 a day for close to a year.
Yeah.
That is well over $2,500. If none of them catch a grand larceny charge, I will be highly surprised.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like,
because that's felony status, and that's jail up to like
5
years.
5-10 years. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, that kind of gave me a chuckle, but that's not the funny one. The funny one I'm gonna tell next, because we're gonna need to come down a little bit more before I tell the last one.
So we'll move on here in just a minute.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about thieves, right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing with thieves.
If you're gonna steal for a reason, not for money.
Here's the thing with thieves. I don't suffer thieves. I don't approve of them. I don't tolerate them. Like, you steal, you need to go to jail.
It's the same punishment,
you know,
for
I don't
everybody.
care if you're stealing because, it's the thrill, or you're stealing because, I want to give dip. The only exception,
Food.
and this is once again where I get a little hypocritical. If you are stealing to provide food for your family, like you walk into a King Soopers, or you walk into a Walmart, or you walk into a grocery store of any kind, you load up a cart, and then you just walk out. I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Because nobody should go hungry. That being said, should you still have a punishment? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Because there are means, there are ways, there are resources that people have access to be able to provide or get food for people. I mean, if the major thing is, I don't have money, how many
there's food banks, there's food stamps.
Actually, not top of my head. Off top of your head, right?
Yeah.
How many pay daily places are just on Evans.
Just as many as there are on Federal.
And these places are temp agencies where, like, you go to a construction site and you help out with construction.
Yep.
Or you go ahead and you pick up stuff.
Temp agencies are huge. And there's, like, the day labor places and stuff like that you get paid.
And you don't even need an address for some of these places.
Nope. All you need is an ID. And that's the thing, is like an ID and a social security card.
You know, but like, then there are food banks, and there are
county
like
resources,
food, drives,
food stamps.
You know. We went to one place. My ex, your ex friend.
Yep.
She was not religious. She got helped out by the Mormon Church.
Yep, Mormon Church is the shit. They're willing to help everybody. You don't even have to be a part of their
We'll get
church.
into that another day, privately. But like, there are churches who will give out, you know, they'll have food drives and stuff like that and give food out to people. Willie B, every year, right around Thanksgiving, does that stack the truck thing.
Yep.
Where he encourages people to come bring non-perishable foods and fill a semi-truck.
Yep. Last year, I think he did 15 trucks.
Yeah. Like, there are ways to
get food.
to get food without having to resort to stealing.
Yep.
Do I feel bad for those people? Yeah. Am I going to say anything if I see somebody stealing food? Probably not, unless they're a dick. And then, for sure, I'm going to say something.
Yep.
But if they get caught, there needs to be a punishment with it, too.
Yep.
As much as it hurts me to say that.
Yep.
But it needs to happen.
That'd be the case. Stealing food would be the one that I would advocate for, like, community service and that
being
type of
said,
stuff. Anyway.
That being said, the things that some people steal,
shoes, like,
just
really,
for the fuck of it, or because they're trying to hustle, that's their side hustle. You know, they're trying to bring in a little extra money, yada yada. I don't fucking care. Are you dumb?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You want to go ahead and
It's like people stealing cameras from Walmart.
I wonder who did that.
We're not going to mention names.
That sounds like a very. We should find whoever told that story or whoever did that and have them like tell that story or something. Anyways, no, like the people who go ahead. Here's what you do. You want to go ahead and have a side hustle? Fine. You go ahead and you go to like ARC or Salvation Army or some of these like
DAV or thrift stores.
Yeah, some of these thrift stores. You buy some of the stuff for cheap. You take time and effort and energy into fixing them or making them look better.
Yep.
You know, you get like a pair of high top white shoes and you paint something on them and you sell them or you get somebody to design something and you put it on that. You know, you clean them up if they're like a nice pair of shoes or like a nice piece of furniture. You sand off all the stuff, you fix up whatever cracks are in it, you go ahead and you restain it and you sell it. You can make some decent cash doing that.
Yep.
I saw somebody buy a like $60 cabinet from a Salvation Army back home.
Mm-hmm.
I helped him out with sanding everything down, filling cracks, making sure everything was put back together, making sure that the screws and the nails were holding, and replacing that stuff that wasn't. We restained it, and then he flipped it, and like got like $280 for it.
Yep.
And he kicked me some, but like because I helped him out, but like still, like you do something like that. No, these people don't want to do that. They want to
take the easy way out,
or they want to steal something and then flip it for a markup.
Yep.
I mean, biggest example of this, right? Whenever any sort of big, like real popular band comes out, you get scalpers. People who will buy tickets, massive amounts of tickets, and then go ahead and sell those tickets right outside the gate.
Yep.
Or they'll go ahead and, I'm reselling these tickets because all of a sudden this one ticket because I can't go i.e., I wasn't planning on going anyways. I'll sell it to you. Regular ticket price is like $100. I'm gonna sell this for $250.
Yep.
And it's like, those people, I want to drop kick those people.
Did you know that scalping is actually illegal in Colorado?
Yes. But you have people like that. Then you have another big one that happened, and I saw the video for it. I'm just like, are you fucking, like, panhandlers?
Yep.
Who go out there and they panhandle, and they don't need to. The video I'm referring to, there was a lady who was caught on video panhandling, and she was out there for 8 hours. And as she started walking, like it was the end of her shift, so she started walking away, climbs into a newer Toyota SUV, when the guy with the camera who was following her walks up to her and is like, hey, what were you just doing? You said you needed money because you were trying to feed your kids, and now you're getting in, and you didn't have any place, and you were homeless and all that. But I see you're getting into this newer vehicle. How'd that happen? Did somebody give you that as panhandling? And she got upset, and she threatened to call the police on the guy. So you're like, no. I already got police here because of theft and lying.
Yep.
Like, there's one guy here, and loved the man to death. I actually went ahead and had a conversation with him at one point. But I was driving down Colfax, and you know exactly who I'm talking about. He wasn't he wasn't asking for, like, he didn't have any sort of sob story. He didn't have any sort of nothing on his little board. His little cardboard piece of board said, and I quote, "Not gonna lie, just need a beer."
Yep, there's an older gentleman that used to be on Calumet, and he would be on the side of Calumet because Santa Fe only goes one way up there, and like 2nd Avenue, Alameda area, that would have a sign and American flags, those little Dollar Tree American flags that you can get buy in bulk or whatever. And he would hand those out, and his sign said, "Why lie? I need a beer."
There's one person I saw out in Aurora. It said, "Not looking for money, just wishing you a good day." Had a smiley face on it.
Yep.
There was that one dude off of what was it? Jewel? Can't remember the cross street. It was when we were living over, like, closer to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have a sign. All he had a big 2x4, and he had nailed or taped or stapled a large American flag, and he would just walk up and down the sidewalk.
Yep. There's the homeless veteran that was on the side of C-470.
So that guy that I was referring to actually had a medical emergency that happened while he was walking.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody who drove past there every day stopped, pulled over, and got him help.
Yeah.
He wasn't. You didn't see him on that corner for months, and then finally he shows up and he's got a cane and he's still doing his thing, walking up and down.
Yep. The guy on the side of C-470, the homeless vet that was had a sign that said hungry, and we had an extra burrito, and we gave him a burrito, and he was like, it was the greatest day in his life. Like, he hadn't eaten in 2 days.
Like, those people, sure. Let's help out those people. Let's get them, like, they're obviously good at advertising because they're advertising themselves.
They are. They would be great sign flippers.
Let's go ahead and give them a job doing something like that, right? But there was one dude that right off of 225 and Hamden.
Yep.
Used to walk around with like this multi pieces of cardboard, like taped
together,
and on his body. He's like had his entire life story on there, and dude was walking up. Dude was just standing there in nice clothes. It's like, how are you gonna like? And they weren't the same clothes that he just washed, and no, it was a different outfit every day.
Yep.
And it's like, no. If you can stand here for 8 hours asking people for money, then you can go ahead and stand 8 hours in a McDonald's flipping burgers.
You could stand 8 hours in retail and take money from people too.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
now
it's not going in your pocket.
These guys who like, well, Winged, if you're going ahead and saying that about, these guys in nicer clothes, and why don't you say the same thing about these people who are at panhandling for real? They could do the same thing.
Yeah.
However, the difference is some of these people who do this, and they don't need to because they have a home, because they have a vehicle, because they have food, they have multiple pairs of clothes that they can swap out into.
They just want to be their own boss. That's all it is.
The people who are standing out there that actually need help, 9 times out of 10, don't have any of that.
Yep.
And trying to get a job without having any sort of address
ID
or nothing,
or anything. Yep.
you
can't.
it is extremely rare. And whenever you do see like these heartfelt, feel-good stories about, like I gave this guy a haircut because he said he had an interview and he hadn't had a haircut in months, and he's living on the streets, and he's going into McDonald's to get for a job interview, yada yada yada. It touches me because it's like we're actually
few and far between.
We're actually giving these people who are the unwanted something to help them.
Something to remind them that not all of humanity is a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I have many opinions, and we could probably take
make a show for just that opinion.
Yeah, I have enough opinions. I could probably take an entire hour's worth to go ahead and talk about it.
I just discovered that my vape is color changing. Anyways.
I just discovered that my vape is dead, and I need to charge it.
Anyway. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Funny story.
Like haha funny or like ironic funny?
Kind of both.
Okay.
So, in Southern California, in the Angels National Forest, they had a missing hiker. He was part of a hiking team. A 78-year-old guy, Mr. Yang. They were looking for him.
Okay.
And stumbled across Jay Leno.
What?
Yeah, Jay Leno was out with some of his car collecting buddies, and they were going to do a drive, through the roadways there and kind of stop off and look at things and stuff. And they were looking for this 78-year-old guy, and they came across Jay Leno and his buddies. And they're like, well, have you seen him? No. Hey, you want to take pictures with us? Sure. Like, it's kind of funny that they came across him. But the best part about the story, and this is a shorter story, they did eventually find Mr. Yang the next morning. He kind of got separated from the group he was with. They all made it back to the parking lot and noticed that he wasn't there, and so they reported him missing right away, got help right away, which is great. That's what you should do. But it was kind of funny that they were out looking for this guy and they came across Jay Leno. Like, how random is that?
So here's my only issue. My only 2 issues.
Okay.
Issue number 1. If they came across Jay Leno and he was out and about and all that kind of stuff, and they're like, hey, that's weird that we came across you. We're looking for this guy. Why did Jay Leno not join the search? For 1.
Yeah.
For 2, if you know that somebody is looking for somebody else because they're lost, why would you delay them and be like, hey, let's take a picture?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
makes no sense.
It's humorous in the fact that, we came across a wild celebrity and we came across a celebrity in the wild. That's like those people who are like taking wedding photos and Tom Hanks walks up and is like, hey, yada yada, and then he gets invited to the wedding, or the same thing with Keanu Reeves or something like that.
Yeah.
Or in New York City or whatnot. Like, can understand that, right? Do not interrupt
a search party.
Search and rescue because you're famous and people just stumble across you. A better option would be, hey, this person's missing. Cool. we got a bunch of cars that are here, and we're looking around these trails to see where we can take them. Let's join and help out and look over these trails to see if we can spot somebody.
Yeah, that would have been smart.
But people get so wrapped up in their own fame that it's just like, you want an autograph? No, I want to find this person. Oh, you want an autograph? Come here. No. Don't take, I don't want no picture. I don't want to talk with you for 20, 30 minutes. I want to get back to doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Which is finding somebody.
What bothers me even
lost.
more, what bothers me even more about that is they didn't tell him no. They actually took a few photographs of him. Yeah, I know. Anyway, that was the funny haha story.
That's not that funny.
It made me chuckle that it was like
to be funny.
came across a wild celebrity. That's the part that I'm laughing at.
It was meant to be funny.
Yeah.
And I will recognize that it was meant to be slightly humorous.
Yes.
And I am definitely glad that this person did you say their name?
Mr. Yang.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
78 years
I
old.
thought you said Mystery Inc. I'm like, okay. But no, I'm glad that they found Mr. Yang and he was safe.
Yep.
But at the same time, fucking get your head out your ass.
Yeah.
You go find somebody. Like, I think there was a story once or a couple years ago or something that one of the guys from, I want to say Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
One of the, either Merry or Pippin, I can't remember who. But there was somebody who was missing. And they had a bunch of volunteers to go ahead and try to find this person, right?
Yeah.
And one of the people who happened to be a part of the search team was Mary.
Yeah.
The actor who played Mary. And he was a part of the search team. And people were like, "Yo, I'm looking for hobbits with Mary," or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they did. And there was a video of like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" He's like, "After we're done, we got to find this person." They ended up finding them, thankfully, and they were still living. And the person who was lost got a picture before anybody else did.
Right? That would have been better.
Person. People like that, I love to death. But the celebrities who sit there and they're like, "Oh, you're looking, somebody's lost? Well, I'm a little busy right now."
Yeah.
Busy doing what? I'm looking for roads to go up and down in my nice car and blah blah blah. Bitch, get your ass out and start walking with us.
Yeah.
The more people that we have,
the more eyes we have on the trail.
the faster there's a chance that we can find something.
Yep.
Like, you don't need to be like some legendary tracker. I can go ahead and tell that they went this way and they were running at this speed because this branch over here was broken and they jumped on this route and jumped off and landed over here.
Pull a Gibbs, look at the grass and be like, they went that way.
Yeah. They don't need to be something like that. They just need, hey, do you have eyes? Yes. Can you see? Yes.
Can you walk?
Yes.
No.
Cool.
Do you like hiking?
Join
No.
us.
You don't
Some
like
people-
hiking and you would join the search.
Yeah. Some people who I would not ask to help, Stevie Wonder.
It's fucked up, but yes.
I'm sorry. Hey, you started the whole fucked up thing.
Yeah.
But like, if you have the ability, you should be able to help.
Yeah.
There was one person who was lost here, and I was like, I'm gonna go see if I can volunteer, and you're like, well, about that, and I wasn't able to, or something happened. I think I went to go get up and like start moving toward the door, and my knee just gave out on me. It was before my surgery.
It was God's way of telling you no.
Yeah, because it was up in the mountains, and I was like, I want to go volunteer and help try to find somebody, and I went to go stand up or something to that extent. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to go. And, you looked at me, my ex looked at me, and you both were like, I don't think you're going anywhere.
Yep.
And I'm on the floor getting attacked with kisses by dogs. It's like, nah, you think?
Yeah. Sounds about right. Anyway.
Anyways.
So, I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to keep this story short and sweet, only because I have already been heated about it. But
I haven't.
The headline reads, Judge rules Breonna Taylor's boyfriend caused her death, throws out major charges against ex-Louisville officers.
What?
Federal judge has thrown out major felony charges against 2 former Louisville officers accused of falsifying a warrant that led police to Breonna Taylor's door before they fatally shot her. U.S. District Judge Charles Simpson's ruling declared that the actions of Taylor's boyfriend, who fired a shot at the police the night of the raid, were the legal cause of her death, not a bad warrant.
Okay. I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Because I have to say this now. Because if I don't, you see how I'm gripping this mic right now.
Yeah.
We would need a new one.
Yeah, and we cannot be buying new equipment because we get pissed off.
Here's why, slight bit of devil's advocacy here. Just as a forewarning.
Yep.
If he did not fire a shot, would she have gotten caught up? No. I will 100% agree with that. However, if those two scumbag, dumbass motherfuckers hadn't lied to a judge to get a warrant for a location that was not where they said it needed to be, then the whole thing wouldn't have fucking happened.
Yep.
And the gentleman, her boyfriend, who fired a shot, would never have fired a fucking shot.
Yep.
If these two assholes didn't lie and say, we need a warrant for this location because this person is there, knowing full well that they weren't even close to the right spot, then none of this would have happened in the first fucking place.
Yep.
Fuck that judge. Fuck those police officers.
Because
Fuck
they
that
couldn't
prosecutor.
Because they had I guess
whoever the fuck their defense lawyer is needs to get fucking nailed to the side of a building.
And see, the thing is, and here's my thoughts on this, okay? So,
of all the stupid motherfucking shit,
the boyfriend had broken the law. Should he have been punished? Yes. They didn't know what was going on. They got a warrant through false pretenses to her apartment, not his. If you remember the reports, he had only arrived there about 45 minutes before the shooting. He hadn't been there in weeks. She had been over at his apartment. They had been observing his apartment, saw him coming and going, did not go into his apartment. They got the warrant for her apartment by saying, oh, that's where he's living. That caused the chain of events where he shot at officers.
Were they going after him?
Yeah.
That's what the warrant was for?
Yep.
If this was any other place, if it was at his place, and police came through the door and he fired a weapon, he fired a shot at them, and they returned fire. Understandable, because that's where the warrant is supposed to be.
Yep.
If they didn't know that he was there or had been going over to her apartment.
They hadn't even had surveillance on her apartment.
1, how the fuck did they know where her place was? 2, why the fuck would you go ahead and issue a warrant for a place that you are unsure about?
Yep.
You have to have probable cause and enough of it in order to get a warrant.
Now here's the fucked up part. Because of how state laws and shit are written, they can actually petition the state to allow them to get their jobs back. That's where I lost my shit. I threw my phone.
Was the boyfriend a criminal?
Yes.
Should he have gone to jail?
Yes.
Yes, that's why they got the warrant. However, if there's no sort of inkling, that's like them going ahead and being like, hey, Winged, your brother's a fugitive. He's been here once.
He lives in Pennsylvania, but we're going to search your house.
For your place.
Yeah, no. That ain't going to work for me.
Like, excuse me? No, the fuck you ain't.
You can come into this apartment with the search warrant if my attorney is present. Otherwise, you're not coming in. I have a special needs child here. I am not allowing you in my home without a lawyer present.
Here's the thing that gets me, and it's something that like you and I have talked about before.
Yep, and we've talked about this case not on the podcast before, but
what I'm about to say we've talked about before.
Yeah.
The problem is that warrants like that, if you do not abide by the warrant, you get arrested.
Yep.
It's the same thing if you're driving and the police officer pulls you over for whatever reason and then goes ahead and says, can I look around the vehicle? And you tell them no. And they're like, well, you just gave me probable cause to look around the vehicle. If you don't have anything illegal, then you shouldn't have a problem with it.
No,
so they go ahead and they can say, oh, he denied us access to look around the vehicle, so that gave us probable cause to look around the vehicle.
It's like me driving down the street, and we both know that I have partook in smoking marijuana, sitting in the parking lot in my car, no keys. We both know that my car smells like weed, probably permanently. I drove down the street one day, and this is before it became legal recreationally. So it was medical, and I did have my red card at the time. Let it expire. But anyway,
That's legalized.
Yeah. So I was driving, got pulled over because they said there was a seatbelt violation, and it was during click it or ticket. And that is a primary reason to pull somebody over. Well, I did have my seatbelt on. He saw that. He said, I smell marijuana in the vehicle. Can I search it? No, you cannot. Okay, I'm going to get the canine officer out here. Okay. Canine walked around, alerted to the car. He said, can you step out? I was like, and they had me step out before. He alerted to the vehicle. I said, okay, you can search the vehicle. They didn't find a fucking thing. They didn't even find a roach because I don't have an ashtray in my car. Like, and then they're like, well, it doesn't even smell like weed. The canine officer was like, it doesn't even smell like marijuana in the vehicle. And I was like, I knew it didn't. He goes, well, then why'd you agree to let the dog? I was like, because that's the only way you're going to search my vehicle. And plus, I have my marijuana card. I am not smoking while I'm driving. I am stone cold sober. And yeah, that officer did not like me afterwards because after I spoke to the canine officer, I said, "Is there a way you can have the sergeant come out?" And I spoke to the sergeant, and the sergeant goes, "All right." And next thing I knew, I got pulled over twice more by that same officer because he was pissed.
Yeah.
But it's like it.
And what were those 2 times that you got pulled over for? What did he try to say?
He tried to say that I was speeding. And that was when we hit State Farm and I had that tracker app that I could show my speed. Yeah, gotta love that. And the second time was for failure to come to a full stop at a stop sign. Funny thing is, my car's a manual. I kind of have to come to a stop at a stop sign. Just saying. I can't just slow down and turn because it's got gears you have to shift. So I called him on that. Called him out on that bullshit.
Farm app thing at the time too. So it's like.
Yeah. So yeah, there are a couple of officers that in Littleton that I particularly do not like, and one of them keeps coming into the hospital where we work, and has caused me to get hurt. Carol to get hurt. Yeah.
People like that. There are some people who should have some sort of power like that, right? They should have the ability to like pull people over. You know, there are cops out there that are really fantastic cops.
Really awesome cops.
You know, we've talked to several of them, whether it's between our job or something happens around here, you know, that you need to get a hold of the police for. And we've talked to a bunch of different police officers. And there are some that are just like
power hungry, power tripping bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's what you are disgracing and dishonoring
the
not
uniform.
only your uniform, but your badge and the memory of those who came before you and the memory of those who've fallen serving honorably.
Yep.
Like, you don't deserve shit, bro.
Yeah. And I mean, that story pissed me off on so many levels, and it's just like it.
Once again, should the boyfriend have gone to jail? Yeah, he should have. He fucked up. He had a warrant. They were looking for him.
Yep.
However, if you don't have proof that somebody is somewhere, why the fuck are you getting a warrant to go ahead and go into a place in the middle of the night while people are sleeping?
Nope.
Looking for someone who may not even be there.
Yep. And it's like, I hate to say this because the color of my skin is what it is. And the color of your skin is what it is. But only a white cop could get away with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry. But 2 white cops falsified reports to get a warrant for Breonna Taylor's apartment. Come into that apartment. She's sleeping in the room. Gets awoken by gets startled awake. And
pays the ultimate price.
He shoots at the officers. He fires a shot at the officers, and they return fire, not knowing if anybody else is in the apartment. For one, they could have killed a child.
Yeah.
Like, they falsified reports, got a warrant off those falsified reports, and Breonna Taylor paid the price.
Yep.
There is no way in hell that they should have fucking got away with shit. They should be charged just as culpable as the boyfriend. But it...
Yep.
There is too many times where certain groups of people are getting away with killing other groups of people, and it pisses me off. Because what if that was my niece? Like, I can't imagine what would happen to Nay. Like, what would happen if Nay got killed in the same manner
Mm-hmm.
by a white cop. But if the roles were reversed, if it was a white couple and a black cop, guarantee you those black cops would be in prison.
Oh yeah.
And it goes back to what we were saying before, that it needs to be equal across the board.
Yep.
And for that judge to say that, oh, it wasn't the false reporting that got the warrant that caused her death, it was the boyfriend that caused her death. No, here's the thing. If you didn't falsify the reports to get the warrant, they wouldn't have fucking been there to kill her. I really hope that her family goes after those officers
And the judge.
for a wrongful death.
I hope they go after the judge too.
Yeah. Because that's a bunch of horse shit.
Yep.
I've already been pissed off. I punched the concrete wall over there, and I thrown my phone. So, yeah, that's where I think we should end that bullshit. We got a ferret looking at me.
Yep. Well, I think then we're just going to call it here then.
Yeah, because that was the last story that I had. But, yeah, I had to save that one for last because I knew I wanted to make it a little shorter or make myself make it a little shorter. So, yeah.
Anyways, thank y'all so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you are listening to us on Spotify and you want to show Spotify that you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, hit the download button. It gets back to them, they get back to us, and we continue to go ahead and make these shows, talking about all sorts of stuff that either make you smile, make you angry, or make you think. If you would like to donate to the show, there is a link in the description. We are not saying that you have to, but any little bit that does come in goes right back into the show, trying to make it better for you guys listening and make it better for us because we can get better equipment.
Yeah, and in case somebody breaks their microphone one day because we get too pissed off.
Yep. But as always, thank y'all so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. We hope that you have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to love each other. And as always,
don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Okay, bye.
Bye.